In this video, I will be providing you with one of the biggest problems you're going to run into as a do-it-yourselfer, and I hate to say it, even a lot of contractors don't pay attention to this. And that would be to install some type of support footings underneath the areas that will be located on each side of an opening located in a load-bearing wall on top of a wood-framed floor. Now, this is our third video in our series about remodeling older homes. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to point out is that you are going to be supporting the weight from the ceiling joist in a single-story home, where you might also be supporting part of the roof framing. That's going to add additional weight to the top of that load-bearing wall. However, some braces aren't really providing that much structural support after the roof sheathing has been nailed. So let's go ahead and take a look at our existing opening here, where we have a 4x8 support beam and one trimmer on each side. And of course, this opening is in between the living room and the dining room. And I think this is the biggest problem most contractors, do-it-yourselfers, and even inspectors run into. And that's the fact that they usually can't see what's going on underneath the floor sheathing. However, that is not going to be the case in our video, where we have 2x6 support joist, 24 inches on center. Yours might be 16 inches on center. And you can see here where there's not a lot of support underneath each one of these trimmers. And since I've seen lots of homes built like this, I'm not about to suggest that you need to go in and reinforce the entire floor if there isn't anything wrong with it. And for those of you who run into a situation that you might not see in this video, then feel free to email me a picture of your problem, and I will try to provide you with some information. And if I think other people will want to see it, then I will create another video in this series about your problem. So let's go ahead and remove the sheathing, and I went ahead and changed the color of the floor joist along with all of the other structural components that will be transferring the load from each side of the opening. And you can see here where the load is being transferred to the stem wall. And my guess is that you could draw a 45-degree angle from the bottom corner along the stem wall to provide you with some type of a load transfer path instead of the square like I have here. Take a look at the bottom, where the load-bearing beams will be transferring the weight through the posts and into the concrete footing. And since I'm not an engineer, I will not be able to provide you the amount of load that is going to be transferred through these posts. However, I'm willing to guess that the closer the support post is to the floor joist, the more weight that will be transferred through that part of the floor framing. Next up, let's take a look at another load path model that might work. And to do that, I'm going to add this joist and this joist, because the floor sheathing is going to be helping with the transfer also. And that will be the floor sheathing that will be sitting on top of these two joists underneath the bottom plate. And sometimes in a situation like this, the sheathing is going to be sagging in between the joist, along with the joist in some cases. And again, you're not going to be able to see what's going on here most of the time unless you remove the sheathing or crawl under the house. Next up, let's go ahead and move the joist over a little bit. You might run into a situation where you have a joist directly under the load-bearing point for the concentrated load, or you might have a joist that is close to the concentrated load. Now, if I was going to frame this today, it would probably look something like this, where we would have a double support joist underneath the trimmer. And there's a good chance this would be a double trimmer. We would have two trimmers or a 4x4 post or even a larger post on each side underneath the header. And another thing I need to point out, and this is something that a lot of people don't think about, however an engineer will. And another thing you might want to examine a little more closely is the fact that your doublers or the joists that you currently have are not sagging, because it might be a 5-foot opening or a 4-foot opening. However, once we make this opening a little bit longer, we're going to be supporting more weight from the ceiling joist above or the roof framing. And in some cases, the the double joist will no longer be enough to provide the structural support that we need. So don't just simply examine your floor framing and think that you can make the opening larger and support everything by using the same type of floor framing methods. So just don't think you can go ahead and install a beam in here or a doubler and solve all of your problems. I can't tell you how many times I've ran into a situation where the engineer is going to want a footing, some type of a concrete structural support underneath the areas right here where you are going to be dealing with a concentrated load. Next up, let's go ahead and install our beam to provide you with an example of what it might look like and what the floor framing might look like after you have made the modifications to the wall framing, but not necessarily the floor framing or any additional concrete footings that will be required. And here's an example of the additional weight from the ceiling above. If you remember, the wall came to about here, so now we're picking up 2 additional ceiling joists and probably doing the same here. And again, if we have any roof framing above, that's going to provide us with additional loading on that beam. Then we will most definitely need additional structural support underneath each side of the new opening. Now, if a beam will work, then you can simply install one, and that would look something like this. And in our case here, we have 2x6 joist and a 4x6 beam. And I really don't think a 6x6 is going to provide you with that much more structural support because the beams need to be taller and not wider most of the time. And of course, if this isn't enough, if the engineer needs a little more strength, then you're going to need to add an additional concrete footing with a post and the necessary hardware. And remember, I don't have the structural hardware making any connections here on the existing piers because it's an older home. But that's not going to be the case. Your engineer today is going to want a nice connection between everything and might even require you to install additional structural hardware or even make more modifications to the floor framing or the building foundation. So don't be surprised if you get a structural engineer involved that you could end up spending a lot more money than you thought about in the beginning. Another thing you might need to do will be to install another support board. So instead of just having the rim joist here transferring the load from above, you will have another block to help transfer the weight. And this is another problem I've ran into watching YouTube videos and dealing with other contractors, because this is an item most people aren't paying attention to. However, you will be now since you know about it. And to deal with the structural transfer from the load on the other side, you're probably going to need to install another concrete footing. And if this wall does not have rebar in it, you might need to cut a section of the wall out to create something a little stronger. So we have this additional footing here and this one here. And hopefully by now you have a better understanding of what you might need to do if you're going to extend the length of an opening in an older house with a wood framed floor. And the last thing I want to point out are the double trimmers. So here you might use 2 trimmers or a post, and the same on the other side, 2 trimmers or a post, and even some connecting hardware. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment area. Hit the thumbs up button. And you can always share some of your remodeling stories, whether they're nightmares or not, about remodeling projects you might have done or heard about in older homes.